Hi, everyone, and welcome back to your World Cup Minute for Topbet with Dylan Kerr. Very, very excited about the upcoming fixture. We've got France and Denmark, and it's going to be a cracker of a game. I can't wait, Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still, I've just been watching the games that's been played so far, and it's so unpredictable. And France have got off to a great start. The Danish, they had a tough game against the Tunisians. It was a very, very tough game for them. And it's going to be very interesting because now Denmark need to win. They can't lose this game. Having a point going into your last game, you're going to take chances. And I strongly feel that Tunisia are probably going to push France right to the final, group game when they play France. I was very impressed with Tunisia, but when I was watching France, I think France, and if Mbappe plays the way he does, and the pace of the guy is frightening. It's frightening. And I think the game is going to be a very, very tough game because the Danish are very, very proud and very colourful nation when it comes to football and World Cups and European Nations Leagues and European Championships. They always seem to do very, very well. But it's going to be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to it.
You're right, Dylan. And speaking about Mbappe, he has been a shining star. He has done so exceptionally well. But the truth of the matter is that there's some interesting dynamics with these games because you've got current teammates that are playing against each other, former teammates that are playing with each other for their national squads, and then former teammates that are playing against each other. So there are a lot of Spurs players going on there, a lot of Premier League players that are in these that are in these squads. What are we to expect? Are we going to see some of that competition coming through, and also maybe some of that, teammate gelling going on the field?
I think when it comes to playing games, you've got to go with a single mind that whoever you're playing for, that's the team that you're going to want to win the game, and adversaries and teammates, that goes out the window. If you look at the way France are playing now, Mbappe's more suited to that. Griezmann's more suited to that. Giroud will always score goals because they play as a collective together. When you look at PSG and you look at the way Neymar and Messi are playing and Mbappe, there isn't that balance there because there's three attacking superstars in that team. Where when I'm watching the French play the other day, it's a more collective. They're playing more together, especially when they didn't start particularly well early on, but then the confidence grew, the players came out of the shell. Like I said, I love Mbappe's pace. It's just frightening. And the fact that there's so many Premier League players, that are playing against each other now, it's good to see. It was good to see Son play for South Korea yesterday.
Yeah, wasn't that a beautiful moment there at the end?
I know. It was, it's like I say, the thing that's really interesting me with this World Cup at the moment, the unpredictability. You've got to watch. I watch closely, how teams are adapting to certain things. Like the Portuguese last night against Ghana. It wasn't a penalty. VAR didn't overrule it, but the Ghanaians protested. Nothing was heard against them, and then at 2-0 down, they came back. And that's the beauty of this Football World Cup, the unpredictability of who's going to score again. And what pleased me most of all was Ghanaians finally broke the hoodoo of not any goals from any teams in Africa so far. And they've got to come through that against a very tough Portuguese side. They've got to come through that a lot more pluses than negatives. So this game tomorrow is going to be vitally important on two things. Denmark need to win. France need to win. France win, they qualify for the group for the last 16. Denmark lose, they're out. Basically, it's going to be a very, very tough final game because if you need them 3 points in that final game to finish second in the group, then it's going to be tough.
I was actually surprised by the performance of Denmark against Tunisia. They did play very, very strong, but I actually expected them to win that game because they've just come out of, really, really great results in the UEFA Nations League, and they've actually beat France. twice in that league. So do we expect that they're going to come in fighting? Do you expect that they'll employ the same tactics that they did during that league?
No, I think it's going to be a different game. I think the Tunisians were actually in the first half with a better team. You know, they were strong, they were dominant, they were powerful. They took the game to the Danes, and I've played against club teams in Tunisia, in the CAF Confederations and the CAF Champions League, and I know the style of play that they can do. I know how they are very strong, they are very direct, and they took the game to Denmark. Denmark struggled in that first half. You know, and Christensen wasn't allowed to get on the ball, and if, like, you know, if Christensen's not on the ball, the kind of midfield doesn't work. He's the orchestra conductor of that midfield, you know, and the chances weren't really happening. And again, I think Tunisia have got a good chance if they get a point. They could and play France in the final game. I think it's going to be a very, 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 very important game, that one. So that's why it's important that Denmark get 3 points out of this game against France. France, they've got the 3 points, they're happy, but you know, the way the French work, they'll want to get 9 points out of the group stages, especially on the back of such a good win. And it was a good win. Yeah. You know, that France did.
So here's my question to you. Where are you putting your money?
I'm gonna pick the French. I'm gonna pick the French. I think the talent that they've got, Giroud is on level goals with Thierry Henry. He needs one more to be, I think, the all-time French scorer, which is going to be great for him, especially at his age, which is fantastic that he's still playing at this level.
Yeah.
You know, the Danes have got to combat Mbappe. You know, they've got a good, strong midfield. You know, they've got a resilient back four with a good goalkeeper. So to break them down, you know, the Danes have got to be on their game. They've got to go and take the game from the first minute of the whistle and get at the French. If they can do that, they can unstable the French. And sometimes the French don't work under pressure, under constant barrages of attack play. And the big thing that the Danes will work on is free kicks and corners, because that's one of their strengths. But yeah, I'm gonna go for France. I'm gonna go for France. So far, my tips have not been doing too bad, you know.
No.
Too bad, you know. So it's been I say it's been a good competition so far, and it was good to see Japan beat Germany. It was good to see England beat Iran. You know, I'm looking forward to tonight's game against the US.
Yes.
So the World Cups, it's great that these group stages are producing results. Are producing results. Yes, we've had a couple of 0-0s. We've had a couple yesterday. We've had a 1-1, but everybody else has been, you know, going out to win the game, and that's it's only going to benefit the people that love the game and watch the game. They want to see goals and they want to see action, and that's what we're getting.
100%. And I think for me, you're 100% spot on in terms of how you've read the game, because my biggest fear for France is that under the pressure, they crumble on the defense. And then, you know, Hugo Lloris will be left very vulnerable right there at the back. And I don't think he does well under pressure. I mean, looking at his performance in general across the board, I've always found that under pressure he doesn't perform at his best. So it will be critical for France to actually, you know, be very solid on that defense, because I think Denmark is going to come in very strong.
Yeah, they will. I mean, that's the Danes. They've always done that. That's why they've been so successful over the last 10, 15, 20 years in world football. They've always been in the mix. They've never been, you know, an easy pushover to get 3 points. They're a very proud nation, and the following that they bring over to these tournaments is different class. And the French, over the halfway line going forward, that's where they're going to tick. It's the back line that they have to be very, very careful, especially from the counter-attack perspective, because I think the Danes are going to be put under a lot of pressure. They're going to be sitting in, they're going to be defending, and then they're going to go on that counter. You know, it's very important they don't concede an early goal, you know, but that's a very, very important, because then the confidence of the French will grow, as it did the other day. You know, the more goals that the French scored, you could see that they were enjoying playing. Yeah. And the opposition wasn't that bad against France. So it wasn't as if it was a bad team. It's just that the French, dominated the game, and that's because they were scoring goals. And like I say, Giroud will be, after that one goal, that'll take him the best goal scorer for France. And Mbappe, like I say, it's not just Mbappe, but Mbappe makes them tick on that left hand side.
Yeah.
He was doing things off the ball that people don't recognise. They just see him on the ball. They just look at his play on the ball, but his movement off the ball, especially for the goal he scored. I mean, he left the defender 3-4 paces, and he still got to the ball first.
Yeah.
And that's just quality. That's just quality.
That is quality. That is quality. Well, for me, I would really, I always support the underdog. So I'm hoping that, Denmark really, really, pull it out of the bag, because, it's nice to see like an underdog story. And I think it will make the game, the World Cup, extremely interesting. But you never know. Like you said, it's been very unpredictable thus far. And, at the end of the day, it's two quality sides. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I've just done my CPD with the Scottish Football Association to keep my license, and we did a Euros. There was, I think, 6 either former players, former managers, and the Danish coach from the Euros, and he was explaining, his philosophy and the way he works and the way that the team works. And they're very, very well organised. They're very, very well prepared, because it's a small country. It's a small it's a small football fraternity, and most of the players are playing in Europe anyway.
Yes.
So, but the way he describes their work ethic, they could, if they can stop France, getting in behind them and putting themselves under pressure, they could, like you said, be the underdog and again surprise us with maybe a 1-0 or maybe a 2-1 win. I like your optimism. Underdogs, it's always, everybody wants to get the underdogs to win. But I think from a football perspective, it's going to be a very, very tough game for them.
Yeah,
because they've got to, it's how they manage the game. It's how they manage the game. Straight from the kickoff, they know the expectations are going to come. They know that the French are going to come at them. It's how they manage the game. And if they can manage it in the first 20 minutes and keep the game at 0-0, maybe sneak a goal from a set piece or a free kick from Christensen, it may go their way. So like I said, every game's got something to show, something that we all see and we all enjoy. Last night, everybody's talking about Richarlison's volley for Brazil. I mean, is it a good touch or is it a bad touch for the setup? And typical Brazilian, it's going to be a good touch because he meant it. But I said that's what we expect from the Brazilians, and hopefully it's not just a one-off. Let's hope that France can continue the rich vein of scoring that they've been doing. Let's hope Denmark can get 3 points and put a bit of pressure on that group, because now the second games in each of the groups are coming up now. You have got to be on 3 points.
Yes.
You've got no points and no wins, then that's it. You're going to play the last. You're going to play the last game. I'm on holiday now. I'm not going to.
No one will be watching.
No, exactly. So yes, it's going to be it's a big game for Denmark. Big game for them.
Definitely. Well, there you have it, guys. We've got Dylan Kerr with our World Cup Minute. Looking forward to this game, and we will be boosting this game. So I will share all those details on our social media pages. Make sure that you subscribe, follow, and like. Thanks so much, Dylan.
Perfect. Thank you very much. As always, great smile. Great to see you. And you're enjoying the World Cup. I'm enjoying the World Cup. The politics are out the window. It's just the football now. So
it's an amazing World Cup. I'm having such a great time.
I just wish I was Mama Joy and able to go to all the games that she's watching. She messages me every day in the stadiums or in a hotel room or at a fan park.
Oh my God.
It's brilliant.
We should actually have her as a tipster on our show.
She's too busy. She's too busy socializing and partying.
Anyway, what a life. Thanks so much, Dylan. Have a great
You're
day.
perfect. You have a great day and have a good weekend.
You too. Cheers.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye, sweetheart. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And as usual, Topbet has boosted the France and Denmark game for you on a match result. So put your bet on online. Alternatively, you can go into one of our many outlets and be helped by our friendly staff. Topbet, go for gold.